Hi, everybody. All right, I was going to make a video to channel some wisdom about January 2017. So I'm going to relax and then we'll just see what Spirit has to share with us for the upcoming month. So there, we're walking into a new calendar year, actually walking into January. It's interesting because they show me January sort of like you play hopscotch, so you have these little boxes that you have to jump, one to the other, and then, you have to jump through all of these boxes, right? So I'm seeing sort of like calendar months and days, sort of like boxes like hopscotch. You throw a rock, and then you jump to that box, and then you jump back. I never really played it, so trying to remember how you even play it. But that's what they're showing me. It just feels sort of like I just don't know which box I'm on, and I'm trying to throw the rock, trying to get it into a certain box. I don't even know what I'm doing. That's kind of what it feels like. The spirit guides are saying, so you don't even know what you're doing in January? And I was like, I know what I'm going to do in January. I'm going to be ready for whole new things, and it's going to be awesome. Whatever it's going to be good, dang it. So finding your place, finding your stance, finding your step, finding the box that you're trying to move into is something about we all sort of make goals for the upcoming year and how we want to fit those goals, how do we want to fit in the bigger picture of our dreams and how do we want to manifest those. So it has something to do with that. It's sort of trying to figure out where your next step is, your next jump or move is going to be, and then getting to that point. There's a real sort of feel of that kind. We're starting a hopscotch game. They don't want this to sound intimidating either. In fact, they want it to sound quite exciting. Like a child they just got the chalk out, they just drew the boxes, and now we're going to get started and we're going to start playing the game. And we need to get excited about it. That's what they're saying. Not to look at this as sort of intimidating, but to look at it as an exciting game and a game of self-development. That's what they're saying. There's something with clouds, but it's sort of like I'm looking at hopscotch game down here, and then over there it's just like let's just draw a couple of squiggles and color it in white and then a lightning bolt, and that's what I see over there. But it's not storming. It's sort of a cartoonish looking cloud with a lightning bolt coming out, but it does the real sky looks kind of gray, and then you have this just cartoon sort of white cloud with the lightning bolt. I'm looking at this picture. It's literally a drawing now. I'm looking down at the whole picture that is on a table. And the picture shows me hopscotch, and then it shows me sort of like a gloomier sky, and then this cartoon drawing of a white cloud and a lightning bolt. So I'm looking at it, and I'm pointing at different parts of this picture. They're showing me this gray color. It's really interesting because the gray sky is sort of gray, dreary. Think of sort of rainy days, right? But it's starting to get more silvery. It's starting to look more and more silvery. And it even makes me think of like nickels and dimes, and quarters. I'm still looking at the drawing and inspecting it, waiting for anything else to change or shift or show me anything new. I'm just waiting. There's no new energy they're sharing about the silvery color. We're just leaving it at that for right now. Sometimes I want to be a part of the picture. I don't want to just be on the outside looking at it. I actually want to be playing the game. I actually want to be in the picture. Sometimes I feel like here's the picture, but I'm just looking at it from the outside. I'm not actually participating in the bigger picture and the way the game is played out for this world. It's really a message, a bigger message about a lot of us little people really want to make a big difference in this world. We really know what this planet needs, and we want to participate in helping Mother Earth, helping clean up the water, the oceans, clean air, fresh food for everybody around the globe, clothes for everybody. And I really have a warm heart. It's like kids really need to have clothes and good food to eat, and lots of love and nourishment. And we know that, we know that we want to participate in seeing a better world, but sometimes it just feels like here's the dream of the better world that we can't actually participate in. There's something, I know that this picture is sort of weird, and that, well, there's the hopscotch and there's sort of like gray and but silver, and then, but there's something more to it, because this game of hopscotch is not just about our individual lives, our individual dreams. It's really about how can we participate in the bigger picture of helping Mother Earth and helping other human beings, and really helping to make it a better world for us all. I really feel strongly that a lot of us people have dreams that we want to see a better world. We just don't really know how to make those dreams happen. We don't really know how to be a part of everything. Our lives are just so full of the daily grind. It's really important that we do find a way to start taking steps and actively being involved in making it a better world. They're really they want us all to be contemplating this, to ask ourselves, where are we in the picture? Are we outside of the picture and just looking at it, thinking about it? How can we get our feet into the picture and actually start playing the game of life, actively involved in making it a better world? Turning gloomy days into sunny days for everybody, because that's truly what we want deep down in our hearts. We actually do want this deep down in our hearts. So I'm just continuing to watch this scene. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed by the game of life, and I'm tired of playing games. I could do just fine never playing the game of hopscotch of life ever again. There's some part of me is just like, yeah, I'm going to sit this one out. Thank you very much. But so one version of me is standing there contemplating. I'm actually in the picture now and I'm playing the game. Some version of me is standing there. It's about my turn, right? And then when it comes my turn, I immediately am just like, yeah, I don't want it to be my turn. No thanks. I'm going to sit this one out. You can't do that. It's your turn and you're playing the game. You have to play the game. It's like Jumanji. You have to finish the game. You don't get to sit this out. You actually have to keep playing the game. And so when it comes your turn, get excited about it and be the winner of the game. Don't feel overwhelmed when it comes your turn to start participating in helping this world. Embrace it as an opportunity, a calling from heaven that, guess what, it's your turn now. It's your turn to start playing in this bigger game. And they're saying for some people it's going to be extremely intimidating and overwhelming when that day comes, because now what you've always ever known and clung to is just the normal daily grind is not going to work anymore, period. And it's not going to feel very good. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. It's going to be confusing. You're going to feel like a fish out of water. You're not going to want to play that game. You're going to want to sit out, and you're going to say, I want to sit out, I want to sit out, I want to sit out. No, you have to play the game. You don't have a choice. It's Jumanji. You got to play the game. Sorry. You opened up that can of worms. So that's what they're saying about this. That's what they're saying about January. Again, they want you to just take a deep breath and know that it's a fun game. It's not scary and it's not intimidating, and you're helped out so much along the way, more than you know. In the spirit realm and in the human world too, because there's a lot more human beings ready to help you in your life get through the game of life than you give yourself credit for. That's what they say. They're showing me that this hopscotch game is sort of, there's like a dark tunnel that's sort of manifesting over it, and now the gray is starting to just become it. There's like a gray sort of rainbowy, it's like I'm going into the dark tunnel, and here's like the cement part, and there's the darkness, the shadow. So we have this sort of silveriness, and then there's it's like I'm going into a mountain, it just, so I'm just gonna see what the shadow's all about here. I feel like I hear I'm gonna lose myself in the shadow. If I go in there, I'm gonna lose myself, and I won't know when I'm gonna come back out of that shadow. I don't know what's in there. I don't want to go into a shadow. I don't know what this place is all about. It makes me uncomfortable. I feel scared. I don't want anything to do with it. Again, they say there's nothing to be afraid of. You actually need to courageously, you need to take the bull by the horns, and you need to go in there and know that you're a superhero, and know that you can walk through a dark tunnel of life changes and confusing twists and turns, and you can make it through, and you're going to be just fine. There's something to this. They're sort of showing me, it can scary moments, like, I have to have a serious surgery done, on my heart, or what, I don't know what it may be. I'm having my first baby, and I don't know what it's going to feel like, and I'm scared, right? But guess what? You make it, and it's really uncomfortable and it's scary at first, but on the other side, and then you throw in a couple years, you look back on time, and it's like, I did it, and it ended up being okay, and it was fine. And so there's something to this as well. Sometimes what feels intimidating from the get-go, you add a couple years of time, and you look back, and it was like, it was really intimidating, but it was okay. It's over now, and I'm all the better for it. I actually have these experiences under my belt now that are shaping me and helping me relate to others better, whatever it might be. So I am choosing to walk into the dark tunnel, and they show me that it was all an illusion all along. We were just playing tricks on you to see how strong you are. So I was in the space, gonna walk to the dark shadowiness of scary, and then all of a sudden, I guess I'm just looking at a picture. It was just a drawing, it's just a picture. I have nothing to do with that. But sometimes it can feel like it's real, they say. Sometimes changes and life twists and turns, or just sometimes energy shifts, it can feel scary, and it's actually not what it feels like it is. It's just things are changing big time. And part of things changing, especially for human beings who kind of have a fear-based mentality to begin with, it's just really hard to make sense of it all. They're even talking about time shifts and such. Those can create ripples of confusion with us as well. And we don't even know what's happening as well. We don't exactly know what's going on with the fabric of our reality, but some of us actually can feel something definitely going on around here. And sometimes it feels very overwhelming to our minds, our bodies, our emotions. Sometimes it sort of manifests in a really, uncomfortable feeling. We don't really know how to place it. But sometimes it manifests in life changes that create the uncomfortable feelings, and now we have to figure out a new routine, and it's not happy, joy, It's a new routine. But again, Spirit is bringing us back to the beginning of January. It's like, it's fun to play hopscotch. It's actually fun. Don't go making this out to be worse than it is. It's fun. So they're showing me it's very important that that you choose to embrace this life as an exciting adventure and a challenge, but a fun challenge. And you can be the winner of this game. And you get to be the winner when you choose to set your fears aside and choose to allow this world to shift and change you as it will, and just enjoy the experience and trust in it, and find the freedom to just let it be as it will be. That's what they're saying. they're relaxing me big time right now, so it's hard to kind of talk. There's a slumbery type of feeling. It's just a really cozy feeling, and it's soft and it's warm, and it's that perfect moment before you fall asleep. It's just we all want to have good dreams, and we all want to have a soft, warm, cozy bed to have good dreams in, you know? They're showing me this too in the picture. Are you looking at it from the outside, wanting that for yourself, or are you actually one of the ones who gets to experience it? Either way, sometimes there's something about just this peacefulness. It couldn't be more peaceful than this. It couldn't be better than this moment where just everything just, all the stress feels so far away. It just feels so relaxing and peaceful. I mean, that would be surreal to have that experience morning and night and morning again for years and years and years. They're talking about stretching out the rubber bands. If you had that experience morning and night and morning, you're not, the rubber band's never going to stretch out. You're just going to actually stay the same. You're not going to grow. Your soul will not develop in any other way other than you're just going to know what harmony feels like. They keep showing me a really tight rubber band, though, that desperately needs stretched. It's just way too tight, and if it doesn't get stretched, there's something about this rubber band. It's like muscles that haven't been stretched, and then they get really tight, and now your body is going through problems because you need to stretch. You need to get the blood flowing. You need to move. You need to be active. You can't just go laying around and expect good health. There's something, too, about this message, not just as individuals, get active, participate, stretch your muscles of experiences, don't be afraid to get out there and be a part of this world. But there's something on the bigger level, societal level, is really talking about, just sort of an old system, an old routine, the way it's always been. That rubber band is old and it doesn't stretch very well, and it needs to start doing its yoga. It needs to start stretching, and we need to get some blood flow into some of these veins of the way it's always been. How will the earth ever heal if we keep participating in life like we are right now? The earth is not going to be able to heal itself. We need to start helping it heal. I mean, how many more new computers and new cell phones and new gaming systems with new new CDs and DVDs and that do we need? Why can't we start refurbishing things? It just feels like such a waste. We just spend, buy, and don't think about all the things we throw away all day long, every day. Where does all that stuff go, and how is it being replenished? I get really worried about trees because I worked a job where that's what we created, packets about insurance, all the rules and regulations, and this is how the plan works, and this, that, and the other. How many pieces of paper did we print out every day just in this one department, just in this one company? Now, how many times do we have to multiply that by to cover all the companies across the globe and all the paper and most people are just like, yep, rules and regulations, throw that in the trash. I mean, how many of us actually read the pamphlets? We don't care. Just give us the product. But still, we're talking about just the ways that we are trying to create a society that works, that is actually destroying us. It's destroying the earth. It's destroying our lives. It's destroying the health of the planet, which is destroying human health. It has to change. That rubber band's got to get stretched out. It has to change, and we need to start coming up with solutions. and not just letting everything just continue to fall into place the way it's always been, because we're used to that and we don't really care what happens to, a couple generations down the road. We'll just let them figure it out. No, we need to figure this out now. What's the world going to be like in 40 years if we just keep up the way that it is? So we not only need to acknowledge that, yes, the rubber band of society needs stretched out, it needs some shifting and some changing and remolding, but that societal rubber band isn't going to stretch out unless we start stretching out our individual lives as well. We too have to change in order to see society change. And for us individuals to change, it's hard, right? But that does take a toll, a positive echo into society too. Because the changes that are taking place for us are positive, Spirit says. And the changes then for us are also manifesting into bigger realms and reflections, and those too are positive. It's sort of like, when are we going to figure out that we don't need gas stations anymore? Can we come up with something else already? Because we kind of are at a point where I think we can figure this out without oil and fossil fuels. I mean, seriously. But there's so much money and such big business. I mean, God forbid we could, let go of the money market when it comes to oil and gas and fossil fuels. There's something very disappointing about this, because the only reason why there's still gas stations and fossil fuels being used is because it's a money market. But it's really destroying the planet, and so money isn't really helping to heal the planet. It's just helping a couple people get everything they want in life. And so again, stretching the rubber band to start seeing the value of healing the planet and healing each other is not a financial gain. It's actually a support system. We need to start loving and supporting each other. Money does not come first. Human beings, Mother Earth, animals, the water, the air come first. And that's part of the value as well. People starting to think outside the box. And then being asked to participate. Are you able to participate when the time comes and you're asked to participate? Or are you going to want to sit this one out because it just might be too hard for you? That's what they're saying. So, nice, warm, and fuzzy message for January. It's more of like the finger telling you what to do all the time. You don't get to just go live in your peaceful, forest village where everybody loves and takes care of each other. You got to figure this thing out in the real world. And it's not like a cartoon where everybody's smiling and happy and supporting each other. It's like, how do you change a world that is like this into something, like a Disneyland or something? It takes effort. And it takes everybody. It takes, turning that frown upside down. If this whole world was either a frown or a smile, like, if the whole world was a frown, how many people would it take to turn the frown of the world upside down and into a smile? How many human beings would it take, do you think? And can we get that number of human beings to participate in turning the frown of the world upside down and into a smile? Love is infectious, and it can stretch a long, long ways. Destruction is very short-lived, but it seems very repetitive on this planet, that we need to keep replaying the same story over and over again. How much more violence do we need to hear about? How much more abuse? How much more rape victim? It's just so many scenarios that you hear about over and over and over again. Is how many more times do we need to hear these stories happening to everybody across the globe? It has to change. So let's see what else. They're only saying again, they're wanting you to really think and stretch your mind out there and think about ways that you want to see a better world in your individual life. And what kind of ideas do you have? real ones though, not real ones that are nurturing your joy and nurturing your heart. How are you going to accomplish that dream to feel happy in your career, or a dream to feel happy in your relationship, or a dream to feel whatever it might be? I want to develop my spiritual abilities. Well, how are you going to accomplish that? You actually are saying that because you mean it, but how are you going to accomplish it? How will you put that dream into action? You can't just throw it out there and that's as far as it'll ever go. You have to put it in the hopscotch, and now you need to go after it. But it's not just about the individual side of things, because you need to put some heart out there and say, I am on this earth for a reason. And when God asks me, or when heaven calls on me, please give me the strength and courage to know that I can participate, and that it's time. That when I'm called, that I know it's time, and that I have the strength to participate. Or when I experience a life change that is for the better of me, please give me the strength and courage to know that I can do it. But they're talking, again, warm and fuzzy. Think happy thoughts, and know that these happy thoughts can manifest for you and for the world. That's what they're saying about January. Thinking happy thoughts, participating in the game of life, and knowing that these dreams can manifest for you and for humanity. And that's what they're saying about January. Take the time to really think about who you are, how far you've come in your life, and where you want to go next. And put some special little ideas out there for the earth. I'd really like to see, a solution here to the need for fossil fuels. I'd really like to see more news articles that are positive and promoting really extraordinary gifts that are being given back to humanity. Whatever it might be, I just want to see more warm things, more warm news. I don't know what it is that you want, but don't be afraid to put little tidbits of ideas out there, because those dreams go into the pot as well. And those dreams are part of the one human consciousness. 8 billion people on a planet blended as one human being. What is that one human being thinking about? World coming to an end? Or I really like to see that frown turned upside down. So what bucket here of human conscious thoughts what is that human being thinking about? Death and destruction, or happy, happy, joy, joy? Like, let's get more and more happy, happy, joy, joy, so that pot can grow and grow and grow, and those dreams can manifest here over anything else. Because we really need that. So, okay, that's it. That's all. That's January. All right, that's all I've got to share. So, I hope you enjoy this video. And if you're interested in connecting with me one-on-one, I do share psychic wisdom and spiritual healing at my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.